Anyway, it was just, yeah, Mike, was kind of surprised because you didn't even remember tanning me, which it actually kind of hurt my feelings.
Tuna's Cuppies. Thanks to what do you do?
I don't know, it's a kind of comfortable way to do this, but I guess I just gotta suffer it. You have to be. Let's go. I'm ready.
Okay. All right. Welcome to Bodybuilders Amateurs Bar Talk. This is the place where a bunch of guys get together, all friends. I hope we're all friends here. We'll find out. I don't know. Yeah, we get together, shoot the shit, and laugh along the way. So everybody, like, subscribe, and hit that bell button if you want to see more of this craziness. And also check out Bodybuilders Amateur Hour, the Q&A. It's fantastic. So much good content on there. Lots of educational stuff for all the amateurs and pros. So check that out. All right, hey boys, what's going on?
Hey.
Excellent.
Back again.
All right, we got Andy, Jamie, Big Mike's back, and we got Andrew Kupkee. Sweet Lord. Here we go. So thanks for coming on. We're super curious. Just wanted to clear the air between you guys here. Let's just start off right away. On our last Bodybuilders Amateur Hour, somebody accused Mike of sabotaging you, Kupkee, on stage. It was Mike's fault you lost, right? So we just wanted to clear the air. Did Mr. Miyagi
I didn't actually
wax off a little too much?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It didn't really hurt. So
okay, good.
I don't know. You just want me to tell you my version of it? Like, this is like, how long ago was this? 25 years ago?
I don't know. I've never heard the
So
story.
you guys haven't talked
I've never heard this.
So you guys haven't talked for 25 years. Wow.
I don't think most people have, because it's I don't know. I'll just go back. Like,
yeah, man.
I just remember it was like, it has to be like 25 years at least, like, or at least 20. So anyway, it was just, yeah, Mike, I was kind of surprised because you didn't even remember tanning me, which it actually kind of hurt my feelings a little bit. So,
see, there we go. Let's talk, guys. Let's bring this shit up.
I'm just kidding about that. Yeah, so I don't know, Mike just come over, and keep in mind that, like, we're 25 years younger too, so we might be a little more suspicious back then, or at least I was. So, or lack of not really trusting too many people, but I trusted Mike. And anyways, he come over to my house one evening to do my tan, and he did my tan, and like, I thought it looked kind of blotchy, and I asked him about it, and then he just said, "Well, just let it'll even out after it sits for a while, right?" So anyway, so I go. I never had a thought that he said he sabotaged my tan. I at that point, anyways. But so, anyways, I get to the weigh-in, and I'm hoping that by the time I get there, it'll be evened out and I'll look great. So, but anyways, Duncan Lombard weighed me in, and he's like, "Who the fuck did your tan like that?" Right? And I said, Mike Griffin did, and he goes, "Well, you got to wash that all off." He goes, He goes, "You got to start from scratch." And I'm like, stressed right out because I don't have anybody with me. So really, all I really thought about then was like, I'm just fucking stressed, and I don't recall, like.
Okay, wait. I tanned you on what day? On the Friday.
I don't know. No, it was Friday. Would have been Friday morning before the weigh-in, like, at some point.
Okay.
I don't really know. Yeah, so
I have no idea. I apologize, man, if I did.
Well, no,
usually that shit does even out.
It normally does.
Well, it didn't for me, but anyways, it was just kind of like, I never really thought then, but then I was like at the show and I seen Jamie, and like, he looked perfect, and I'm like, "Who does your tan, Jamie?" And he's like, "Mike," and I'm like,
what the
fuck? How the fuck is his so good? Mine looks like shit. So I had that moment of thinking, like, we're from the Arnold era too, right? So it's like
Yeah.
being a little like doing shit like that is kind of like
People play
part of the
jokes
game.
on each
Right?
other. Yeah.
So
He
so
thought
it
I
was
was
never like
giving
I
the
felt
wrong
like
advices.
yeah, it wasn't like I ever felt like malicious towards him or that he's sabotaged me. I just more or less felt like wondered like is he that ruthless a competitor like that? But
No.
I haven't. But that
Oh
was like
shit.
a brief. It was like a brief thing, and it was like I even hung out with these guys backstage. Like we had a great time at that show. I remember that show. Like that's when I first met
Yeah.
Jamie, and like we had a good time. So it was like it didn't really matter after the fact, and it got fixed. And then someone brought it up like recently, and I kind of know
Right.
who. But I don't
I'm
really
not
go on
sure.
to go into that. But anyway,
Yeah.
so
That's
yeah, so
hilarious.
it's not that big a deal at the end of the day. It didn't affect other than a moment of
It
stress,
definitely
and it's
it, yeah, wasn't intentional, man. I swear to God, I would have put that on knowing
oh
that
yeah.
that would have done.
Oh yeah, and
Yes.
it was always like I kind of wondered, but it wasn't like I've been like mulling over for the last 25 years. But
Right.
I'm just like, but I just like I can tell by the way you reacted when you were told about it. Like you didn't even remember tanning me, so it's like I would think if you were like out to get somebody, you'd remember that incident.
Yeah.
So yeah,
You'd be like,
so
turn the
anyway, it's
camera,
just
turn the
kind of
camera off. This interview's over.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
done. Okay, thanks.
Okay.
yeah. So anyway,
So
so
Oh fuck, good times.
I
No,
can't hear
yeah.
Jimmy. Yeah, so yeah, so I don't know. That's it. No drama. No, me and Mike talked like before the podcast anyway, so we kind of whatever worked it out.
just
Not
worked
that there's anything to
it.
work out. It was just whatever. But
No, yeah, I was
Mike,
well the next day after the podcast.
Yeah.
I really was blown away by that question. I was always there to help, and I would do anything to help anybody, and I would never sabotage anybody,
yeah, and,
let alone somebody
yeah,
as good a friend as Andrew to me. And
yeah.
so, yeah, I was just a pure kick in the fucking balls. I was like, "What was that?" I was like, "No, what
But
the fuck?"
I, I kind of even feel
I
bad saying
text him
that.
first thing the next morning. I thought about it is I text him
Yeah.
right up and I got a hold of him like, Andrew, what the fuck is this?
Yeah,
And he's like, well, you kind of did. I was like, what the fuck? No, I didn't.
yeah, yeah. You just don't remember. But I kind of even feel bad saying that you messed it up because you're trying to help me, and I didn't want to. I kind of feel like I know you take pride in your work, so I'm kind of like insulting your
No,
work a little bit. But back then,
you
like,
can tell people I'm a shitty tanner, man. Fuck, I gotta be. I'm not good. No, sometimes good, sometimes not good.
well, maybe you are. Maybe you just weren't good with me. Maybe you were smoking
Yeah,
something that night.
I could have been, and was
Yeah,
most likely. Yes.
yeah.
Could
Well,
it have possibly been
didn't
like the
didn't really
training
bring out
product, the lighting?
Mm.
yeah, it didn't
Could
bring
have.
out your artistic side, but yeah, I can't hear Jamie.
Oh,
Can anybody?
no. I think you muted yourself there, Jamie. Somehow. If it doesn't work,
He's probably
best
had all
thing.
these.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what else are we
But
going to talk about?
if it's not working, the best thing to do is hang up and call back.
Okay.
Yeah, just hang up and call back if that's. We'll get you back in. Usually that works. I don't know how that happens sometimes, but oh man, that was fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I know a show I want to talk about that Andrew was in. It was the 1993 Mr. Moncton. Andrew won the whole thing at 149 pounds. Probably the most shredded guy anybody had seen on stage. Striations from his lip to his hip, all the way everywhere. Remember that, Andrew?
yeah, I do actually. I don't think I've ever achieved that again. Like it
Yeah,
was.
you
I think
wish.
just being
Well, yeah, no,
being
you
young
brought.
and just just
Huh?
being young and lean.
Oh yeah,
There's the difference
I
between being
remember.
young and old and lean.
There was no skin. There was absolutely shredded, unbelievable. Yeah, when he hit that shot, most muscular. Holy fuck, the roof come off the place, and he beat guys well into the heavies, the light heavies. Beat everybody that night at 149 pounds. I remember that, and when I seen that, I said, "Holy fuck, it is possible. A smaller guy can beat everybody if you're ripped enough." And yeah, Andrew blew them away. There wasn't nobody close.
Yeah, I was surprised by that night too. 'Cause that was my first show. I didn't have a clue how I was going to do,
That was your
especially
first
at
show?
149 pounds. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You killed it.
The Moncton Invitational doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. No, no, that was always in March. Though I remember it was always in March.
Yeah,
Before the
the
Atlantics.
spring show.
before the
Yeah,
Atlantics.
Yeah, yeah, maybe. Yeah, because the Atlantics
that
used
was
to
always,
travel around. It used to be in like Newfoundland and Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
Then it just kind of ended up in Moncton. It must have just took over the Monktons or the
Sweet.
Monktons time slot.
So what? That was your first show. Like, why did you do that show? What got you into it? Like, everyone kind of has their own little
Um,
origin story.
I don't know. It's part. I always wanted to do it. Like I saw. I remember I used to watch bodybuilding. Like back when I started, there's no internet, so your motivation came from like people around you or magazines or Arnold, right? And that was
Yeah.
about it then. But I saw a bodybuilding show at a local bar. It was a locker room lounge then. Anyways, it was just some local guys competing, and there was some guys up there that were older than me, and I thought like, fuck, I think I can beat them. But I was only in high school, so I probably couldn't have. But I just thought I could. But
Right.
anyways, Jean LeBlanc guest posed there, and he like totally fucking blew me away, right? So
Oh,
because I never
cool.
seen that level of bodybuilder before, and he was just like thick everywhere, and just yeah, just incredible. So that motivated me for probably a whole summer. But anyways, I just knew I always wanted to compete. I didn't never knew at what level. I never had dreams of being like Arnold or anything. I just knew I wanted to compete and I wanted to be on stage. And I don't know. I just for some reason thought I could do it. And the type of guy I was, I don't know why I thought that because I was so shy and so introverted. And getting on stage with wearing next to nothing doesn't seem like something I would dream about. But anyway, I did it.
Which I always thought that was pretty interesting too, because
Yeah,
when we've met and from all the years I've known you, you're just always so quiet. Like you're in the gym,
yeah,
you wouldn't even. There could be two of us in the gym, I wouldn't know you were there. It was like
yeah.
it's like,
Yeah, I
but
was never much
Yeah.
of an attention seeker, so
then you go
I
on
don't know how
stage
to.
and like look amazing and kick everyone's ass, and then you just go away and go do your
Yeah,
thing.
well, there's so much preparation for it, right? Like you get so much time to go over everything in your head that can go wrong, and by the time you get there, you already have known. Like I'm the type of guy I overthink anyway, so by the time I get to stage, like everything that can go wrong has gone on in my head anyway. So
It's already wrong.
I'm pretty much prepared for earthquakes and everything.
It's like
I remember a time Andrew and I competed together, and he got first. I got second. And when we come
Yeah,
backstage, he felt bad. He felt bad for me. And I said, Andrew, you just won. You don't feel bad for me. You won. But he did. That's the type of
yeah.
guy he
he's
was.
like, "Oh,
Well,
I'm
I think
sorry
it's
for winning, Jamie." He's like,
see, my memory was it was first. It was I was first, and you. The talk of the day was me and you were neck and neck, right? So I thought it was going to be me and you, and then I think that's the show you came third in, wasn't it? Like I thought you get ripped off totally.
Maybe it
Is
was
that
too.
right or not?
Maybe I can't remember. I
Well,
just remember you. I remember you saying that to me. I feel bad for you, and I said, don't feel bad. You just got first.
yeah, yeah. I felt
But
bad because you're such a
I
nice guy
wouldn't.
too, right? And honestly, that was a show that I didn't really give it my all. So if I didn't feel I gave it my all, I didn't feel it doesn't make me feel all that proud, right? But when I did the first show, like I gave it everything I had, and I feel proud of that. But the ones there's probably only three or four where I can say I was like everything I was mentally on track and everything was in line where I can say I gave it everything and those are the shows that I'm proud of more so than the shows where I did good but I didn't really give it my all, right? So that's kind of
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah.
your audio sounds a little off there, Jamie. I don't know if it's
I'm
yeah, I
using my
can't hear you
phone.
at all.
what's that.
I'm using my phone. I'll get my computer. I'll come back in a bit.
All right. Yeah, it's a little low, but we'll
Yeah,
get him back. Sound a little bit
yeah,
better.
yeah.
Cool. Yeah, man. So, how many shows have you done? Can you are
I
you
don't
right up there
know.
with like Jamie
Mike,
and
how many
Mike?
shows have I done? You know my record better than I do. I always ask
yes.
you when I about
Andrew,
my
I know
score.
that Andrew has done. all his shows, and almost every show that he's done, I know that he's won pretty much. He's
Yeah.
pretty much undefeated in his division, no matter what class he went into. I can't remember. I just remembered the other night we were in the 2013 Nationals in Halifax.
Right. Yeah,
We
I
were in
remember
the
that.
we were in the Gladiators together. We were in the 2004 New Brunswicks together. You were in the, and then before that, I think you did 93, 95. You didn't do
Yeah.
96 because I was in that one.
I think I did more
Fuck.
shows in my 50s than I did in any other time in my life.
Yeah,
Like in a
yeah.
row.
You were great
Yeah.
every one of those though. Every time you brought it, every time.
You guys both
Yeah, I don't know.
did the '07 Nationals together in Montreal. Were you there, Mike?
I
I
went
don't
to
think.
mine was in Saskatoon in 2006.
Oh, okay. It must have been just Andrew that went to Montreal that time.
Yeah.
I think I was
Yeah.
there to watch though. Jamie competed at that one too. I think.
Did he?
07?
Yeah.
Was it '07, Andrew? that you went
07
to?
or 05.
Yeah. Geez, good question. That was the year I got all those cramps. I think you were with me around that time too.
Yeah.
I was cramping everywhere.
So
My toes
what,
were curled. My toes were curled under. I couldn't even straighten them out.
Yeah. You
what happened? What happened? Like, what was going on?
I think I dropped too much water. I never did a sodium load and a sodium drop, and then I had to lose like a ridiculous amount of weight to make weight, and I think I used a combination of water loading and then cutting your water and plus diuretics, and I think I just depleted myself of too many minerals, and like I thought every muscle in my body cramped, like my lats, my chest, everything. Like I never experienced it before. I always said, like, if you did a scale of 1 to 10, and 10 is death, I think I was probably at about a 7.
Oh man,
Which is
That's
crazy.
terrifying.
Yeah, if you think about it.
Did
Yeah,
you
the stuff.
your ears shut off or something?
There we go, Jamie.
How we doing now?
Oh,
Better?
that's perfect.
Okay, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, I tried my phone tonight a little bit because my girlfriend did my I'm calling my podcast room
I like it.
where all the trophies are all done up, the old ones.
Oh man.
yeah.
Yeah. Look at that's the old Atlantics, Mike. Remember that one?
Jesus, yes, got the 3 prong. I love that one.
1994.
Man, we
Yeah.
don't get anything like that anymore.
Look at this one here. That was the Atlantics way back in 1992. The big
Oh,
one over
wow.
there. It's like two and a half, 3. It's like 3 feet tall. So yeah, she did an unbelievable job, boys. So
Holy
Wow.
It's-
smokes.
no, it's we'll take it. I'll take a little open up and take a little view later.
I thought I had.
So what
thought
did I
had
miss?
something. Oh, we're talking about Andrew's curled toes and how fun he was having.
Oh, with his curled toes. Okay, I need to get in on this.
Yeah, that's it.
Just the cramping. I had like bad cramping when I did the Nationals in Montreal. I was just saying that my toes were just curled under and they wouldn't come back. I couldn't
Oh,
straighten them out.
really?
Like,
Oh,
everything was
fuck.
cramping, like for like 2 days. It literally took a couple of days.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's
So
crazy.
like, did you get on stage? Like, was that after or
Yeah,
before?
for some reason the adrenaline just got me through posing. Like I never cramped on stage, but as soon as that adrenaline, like I think it's just once the adrenaline wore off, I was just right back to cramping everywhere. Probably
You
worse.
just come back to little hooves afterwards. You're like walking around backstage.
Yeah. Like I had to get out of cars and like stages. Like I had to get my legs straightened out and stop cramping, and then fuck, it was crazy. Yeah,
Wow.
I'll never do that again.
That sounds terrifying.
Yeah.
Andrew, do you remember the time when you were helping me out with my peak week and my last? I don't know what show it was. Remember, I got so dry and dehydrated that I couldn't handle it any longer. Do you remember that? I called you on.
Vaguely.
I called you Friday night and I said I can't handle this. I wasn't drinking any water, and we tried the fat load right the very first time I tried it, and I was gone. It was dry as I could ever be. I remember you told me to go get something at the drugstore, and it was supposed to quench my thirst.
Yeah, there's some spray you can get. Just spray in your mouth. It's like makes your mouth moist.
I sprayed it because it was making my mouth wet, so I just wanted all of it.
Yeah. So you drank it.
I drank it. Yeah. Try everything, eh? We do everything.
Yeah, we'll do anything. It's funny, eh?
Oh, it's like when we're like a week out, you know, or going into the last couple of days before a show, we just stop being smart and we'll just do whatever it takes to get on stage.
That's why you need a coach.
It's so
You just
scary sometimes,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. You need somebody right beside you, like watching your every move, like the last couple of days.
Pretty much. Yeah, you're about as stupid as you're going to be right at that point.
Yeah.
Because you'll do anything to get on stage and like beat the guy beside you. At that point, you don't even care, and it's like
whatever it takes.
So
you just want to. There's some magic formula you can drum up in the last few minutes that's going to completely bring a whole different thing. But there's no magic bullet, right? It's always just the hard work.
But the problem is people think the diuretics can be a magic bullet, but then it causes way more problems than
it creates more problems. For sure. Yeah.
Definitely got to be managed well.
Yeah.
I always just found cutting your salt on the Thursday before the show and cutting the water out by Friday night at 6 o'clock, and I always found that worked pretty good. I never found I had a hard time getting dry. My lower back was always the last place to hold. I could be diet 100 weeks and still that lower back would still hold for the last little bit. So whether you got the last little bit off or not, that would always be my issue.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Do you,
most of the time when mine was like trying to make weight more so than like dry out, like doing the nationals, I had like 176, I think it was. So, but I think I was in the mid 180s by the time when I got there, like the night before the show. So.
The mid 180s. Yeah.
I can't remember the exact number, but it was an insane amount of weight overnight, and that sodium load, like, man, that made me piss more than the diuretics did. By the time I took the diuretics, there was nothing peeing out of me.
Yeah.
Like it was all gone.
Like, yeah. Then at that time, it was like, was there a point? Maybe the diuretics could have hindered like you filling up carbs, like carb loading, right?
I think they're a hindrance anyway.
Yeah, they can.
Like you're trying to load yourself up with carbohydrates and you got no water, and what little water you have, you're trying to piss it away. So I think it's just counterproductive now. Like,
I've heard a lot of people are moving away from them, and actually not even doing a water cut. A lot of people are keeping water in.
Yeah.
It seems to be like a thing now too. You know, like they cut water, but they keep some in, right? Because you need water to transport the carbs into the body. But so a lot of people are like learning that along the way. Where my first like 5 or 6 shows, I would stop drinking water like Friday afternoon, shows Saturday, and that was it. I would be eating and trying to carb load with no water intake.
Yeah.
And I would always come in super flat.
It doesn't even make sense that you get carb.
Yeah. I just thought that's what everyone did, and that's how you did it, but it wasn't really working.
Yeah. Most of the volume in your muscles is water, so it's like, why wouldn't you want the water to go in with the carbs? Like you need carbs to get water. You need water for the carbs to get in, right? So crazy. Somebody's dogs.
Got the dogs.
That's my dog.
Who let the dogs out?
I knew you were going to do that, and I was like, no, don't. I was like, no.
I had to.
I was like, I knew that was coming. I was like, someone's going to say it.
Me.
I was like, oh, God. So, Kupkee. So, what is... Devin has one of your trophies.
Yeah, well, the show he trained me for was like a real good experience, right? And me and Devin.
He didn't steal it, did he?
What?
He didn't
steal it. No, I hawked it. I needed some money, so. No, I just at the end when I won the overall, I knew if I won the overall for that show, I was going to give him my trophy because I felt like I wouldn't have done it without him because he pretty much babysat me all the way through it, and I was going to quit like a couple of days before too. So, and he got me to do some things. So I figured he deserved it. So he still got it.
What were What was your reason for quitting a couple days out?
Oh, it was just this is basically I was on some sleeping pills that made me like I couldn't focus. Like they made me kind of almost manic. So I was just like I couldn't focus to go to practice my routine. And like I didn't even have a routine when I walked on stage. I just winged it. The only thing that got me on stage was he just told me he goes he just said, don't worry about your routine because it's judged on your comparisons, and by the time you do your routine at night, you've already been placed. So just fuck it.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what got me through it. I just said, oh, okay. So one moment, for a few minutes, I might have to make a fool of myself, but other than that, who cares, right? So that's what got me on stage. But yeah, I was just like, yeah, I just was so unfocused and couldn't. I felt so unprepared to go on stage, but somehow I get through it.
Right. And like, you're the only one that knows you don't have a routine. Everyone else probably just thought that, hey, that was your thing.
That's the thing, eh?
That's right.
So,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think other than my first show, I don't think I've had like a huge routine. Like Mike's coached me on routine, so he knows how hard I am to coach to actually pose to music. So it's like an impossible.
I think your first routine was your best one. That first one was the best one.
Which one?
The very first one you did when you won the overall Mr. Moncton.
Yeah, probably because I actually had to. It was my first one, so I was figured I actually did practice a lot. Like,
yeah,
I don't like
posing. It looked good every year.
Yeah, I never liked that part of posing, so it was always like pulling teeth out to get me to practice posing. So, but you had the extra fear.
What about you, other Andy and you guys? Do you do routines? Do you practice at all? What's your rituals like?
I only ever did one routine, and that Mike taught me. And every time after that, I've just winged it.
You just copy. You just keep doing the same one.
I just do whatever. It's too hard to remember. Like when you're out there and the lights are going, and if you screw up one part, you're done. Like you're totally screwed, and you're standing there like a deer in the headlights. So
you're like the whole thing is screwed. Timing's off.
Just go out there and have fun.
I practice. I mean, I started about a week out on my peak week. That's when I got most time, and I put it together then, and I practice it. Yeah.
Yeah, we can tell you practice.
I got.
You can tell
there's
practice.
There's nine best posers up here, so.
Yeah.
So I practice. I practice.
You know what's funny?
I'm pretty sure Mike practices too.
Yeah,
Mike.
Every now and then, I still practice, even though I don't compete.
Yeah. It's pretty natural for you. Like you've thrown routines together right in front of me that were better than I could actually do.
I just put that vision in my head.
In 2008 morning, they told me that I had won the best posing award or whatever, so they wanted me to go. So in the morning back then, we had to do our routines in the morning and at night. So I went out and did my whatever I was doing, and then they told me that I need to do it again for the night show, and they were telling me that I had won the award. And I literally was like, "Are you kidding me? Like I don't even know what I did."
Yeah.
I did the same thing, and I have totally different routines.
That's
they probably thought, fuck, this guy had 2 routines. Wow.
Yeah. Fuck, he's amazing.
Yeah, 2 of them, both of the same song.
Yeah, he had a routine for winning best poser.
Yeah.
On top of the routine. Yeah.
Yes.
That's great. That's funny. I've only ever had one routine ever. I've always winged mine as well until like the gladiators. That was planned. That was practice.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I can't really go into the gladiators looking not like being a little unpolished, I think.
Yeah.
So that was.
I did.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. I felt like those were the most important shows, and I felt so unprepared for those shows. Like they were like my worst condition. I felt like every time I did a gladiators, like something always screwed up, or I just didn't have it, or whatever. The worst part about those is you can't back out of them because you've already committed.
Yeah, no, you were locked into those from January on. If you pulled out, you were done.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, there was
I'm still done from pre-COVID. I'm erased from the history book.
Yeah,
Erase.
me too. Never to come back again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you think you're done? Done? You're
Oh yeah, I'd have to have like a, I don't know. I'm so far away from that mental state of what we have to put ourselves through. Like I can't picture me even doing like a hard set of squats for sets of 20 these days. Like
right.
just I don't know what. And I'm just like I'm doing the old man workouts. I'm preserving myself and trying to keep as much
Smart.
muscle as I can, as long as I can. But I'm just kind of coming to terms with where our best is physically is behind us. But I can't tell you that your back gets better as you get older because you start giving less and less of a shit about how you look, and then you realize that I don't know, you start losing those insecurities that we all have with bodybuilding
Right.
slowly.
Oh, there's so many.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're all a bunch of fucked up people.
It's so true.
Ah,
So like
truth hurts.
like Mike and Kupkee, you guys, when you've decided to retire, was it a decision or was it something that was forced upon you guys? And like how like the first like little while after that decision was made, like is it hard? Like was it hard? I'm getting nervous thinking about the days that when I'm going to be calling it quits and hanging out the trunks. I'm like, what am I going to do? What's it going to feel like? My identity is going to be gone.
Well, I think from my point of view, the last show I was training for was the Gladiators before COVID shut everything down, and I think it was Gladiators we were training. Or no, it was was it the Flex show? I can't remember now. Either
No, it was
Flex or
Gladiators.
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 No, Gladiators because I had to tell.
We were 4 weeks
dropped
out
out.
from Gladiators when it shut down.
Yeah, that's the one I was training for, and
I was going to be in that one too, but then
I was on fire for that show, and I was just like I was getting in the best shape of my life, and then I just got to a point and I was like I achieved. I said I am in the best shape of my life right now, and I just felt like why do I got to go on stage to prove it? And then I just lost all my drive right there. Then I was just like, when COVID started coming around, I was almost hoping they were going to cancel the show. So, but when they closed the gyms, I just said, screw it. I just called Heather and said, I'm not even contemplating doing it now. So anyways, she didn't like it, but the hell with her.
So with
for me, it was just the fact of I knew once I stopped winning that it was going to be a sign. I didn't want to be one of those guys that kept trying to win after winning so many titles and then just trying to hang with the pack. So the first Gladiator, it was an honor to be there. I honestly thought I might be out of the top 10. And when I didn't, that hurt. So I thought, well, if there's one more go, and then they had divisions. And still I could see it just wasn't there like it was back in 2013 when I was at nationals. I was the same weight and looked much smaller. So I figured that it was time to hang it up, and I was okay with it for the first little bit till I seen the Gladiators again. And then I heard something awful not being up there with the boys, but also I had a good run, and I think now trying to keep up and would be kind of be more selfish on my family. It's like you've always got to admit it's a selfish sport. When I did those shows, it was nothing but me, and I don't diet for 10 weeks, 20 weeks. I'm doing this shit 30, 40 weeks out because I want to win. So I just kind of thought those days are gone now, and something different. Yeah.
Right. There's when your other priorities take over in our lives, right? And you start finding other things that become more important.
Yeah. I agree with Mike. I didn't want to be that guy that kept going out there trying to chase their glory of the past, and just like there's a time when you just gotta quit. Like you just can't.
Right.
And health-wise, it doesn't even make sense. Like there's only so many shows you can do if you're doing it right. Like, but some of the guys that do it every year, like they can keep doing it because they don't ever do that good because they're never in that great a shape. But if you get yourself in that great a shape, you've suffered, right? So, and you can't suffer that much.
You can't
year after
suffer.
year. And yeah, you only got so much suffering you can do. And there's the drug too, right? We can't keep pounding the drugs into us like longer, year after year after year, right? So,
Boys, want to see something? Check this out. It's my new adventure for the summer.
Guitar?
I'm gonna learn how to. I'm gonna learn how to play guitar.
Awesome.
That's what the hair is about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You started with the hair first. Now it's the guitar.
He's 40 weeks out from
next year I'm going. Next year, boys, I'm going on the road.
Awesome. Solo.
Well, I can sing a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh,
a little bit.
This podcast is going to turn into something very different.
Yeah.
It's like,
We started band.
What's that, Andy?
Yeah, Miramichi Madness. I'm coming in. You're going to be the leader of the group. Andy, you're going to play drums. Andrew's on bass, and Josh, you're going to be the guy that introduces us shit.
Okay, good, because that's all I got. The MC of the...
That'll be a different podcast.
Yeah.
It's on the road.
Crazy. So, what were you saying there, Andy? You're waving your hand around.
Well, I was playing the tambourine. I said, I'll be the tambourine man.
Oh, the tambourine.
Oh, yeah. Drum, tambourine, something.
Yeah.
More cowbell.
We all need more cowbell.
Yeah.
All right. I got a couple questions from viewers. And I got 3 questions. They're always the same question. And everyone wants to know what's up with your tattoo there, Kupkee.
Which tattoo?
The tattoo of the bicep on the bicep.
Oh, it's gone now.
But when you had what was some people were like, people want to know what was the story was about that. And what did you cover it with?
I don't know. I thought it was cool when I first saw it. It was my first tattoo, and I thought, well, that kind of defines me. Bodybuilding has been my life, right? So I get the tattoo of a bicep pose on my arm, and then shortly after I thought it was completely ridiculous. So now it's covered up. Yeah.
Then what did you cover it with?
Just another tattoo. Actually, I think it's.
Oh,
I think somebody wants to
picture of a leg.
A
picture of a leg.
A picture of the quad stomp.
That's like
the quad stomp.
That's for Hope Berry. She did my tattoo. So Hope Berry did my cover up, and I wonder if maybe she's asking that question. she wants to plug.
I got a tattoo done, my very first tattoo also, and I was in Florida, and my buddy was supposed to go get his, and I was just going with him for support. Well, he wouldn't do it until I did it. So I said, well, I'll get a dumbbell, one of those cartoon dumbbells. I'll put it on my shoulder. It'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
When I come home, a buddy looked at me and said, why did you put the arrowhead on your shoulder? I said, it looked exactly like an arrowhead on my shoulder. It's covered up now.
Yeah. That's what most of them are doing. Future cover-ups.
Right.
Yeah. So anybody with a tattoo probably has kind of like same story, Andrew. Somewhere, maybe.
Oh, yeah. No doubt. Actually, now if you want to be different, just don't get a tattoo. Then you'll
Yeah. Then you're different.
People you definitely are noticed. Like, what is wrong with that guy's arms? Like, there's nothing on there.
Why? Like a white piece of paper.
He's a freak. He's got no piercings and nothing.
Yeah, Mike, you got some on you too, eh?
Yeah, I got a couple on this arm and a couple on that arm, and then I got a big one on my back. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And did that all start happening after retirement?
No, I got the first one was the Griffin on my back. I think I got that right before Nationals in 2012 or 2011. And I met a really good artist that he just everything he drew was incredible. So I knew that I wanted to get the tattoo by him, and he happened to want to learn nutrition and wellness, and we had a good trade.
Nice.
Good.
So you think that tattoo affected any of your competitions at all?
I think my last one, fucked it up. Nostrils. That's why I didn't get first. That's the reason.
It could be. It covered up.
That's an yeah.
No, but I don't think they help. I don't think they help in any way at all. I don't think they hinder too much, but they definitely don't help. And I think maybe the last Gladiator show, my back was holding quite a bit of water, and the tattoo didn't help.
Yeah, I think they look cool on other people, but I never think they look cool on me. I think they will, but then get it. I don't think they. Yeah.
But that's just your humbleness there, Kupkee. You're.
Yeah. Well, I know it's pretty cool. I just the tattoos just aren't working.
Just not.
Yeah.
Andy has some.
No.
Must.
Not one.
Andy,
Blank slate.
He's afraid. Wow. He's afraid of needles.
And that. I just have no style. I wouldn't know what to get.
Yeah, trust me, don't even bother. I would if I could
get
go
a big
back.
Bicep. Get a big bicep on your arm.
I could get a bicep on my arm. I could get an arm on my bicep. Or something. I don't know.
Or leg.
Yeah.
Just tattoo some abs down here, so I can just go ahead and let all this go.
Get a picture of yourself and put it on your somewhere.
Yeah.
Back.
I heard somebody did that. Is that true? I think we have a friend that tattooed a picture of himself on his ass.
Yeah,
is that true?
He's a legend.
Yeah. Do you know who that is?
I have no idea.
Yeah. Should we say?
Yeah, tell me who that is.
He'd probably be proud of it anyway. He's like,
he'll probably want to come on and show it.
I've never seen it. I always heard it like it's like the unicorn. I was like, I've heard tell of it, but I've never seen it for real.
Yeah.
Who is this? I need to know who this is.
This Wayne Doucette. Like he had that.
Okay, that makes sense. If anybody, I could see that for sure. That makes sense with that guy.
Yeah,
it's real. Though. It is real.
Jim and tell him at any time and say ask him say, show this girl your tattoo, and he'd drop his pants and show her the tattoo. Like anytime.
Okay, it's all making sense now for sure.
Yeah, I can see that.
You get it.
You get it.
That was a wrinkle.
Well done.
We're probably gonna have
oh fuck! Oh fuck! You guys are awesome.
Maybe Wayne can come on and show you.
Well, maybe.
I don't have to still be there unless you got taken off.
You
can find out if it's real.
You might make it look younger, but I don't think you get it taken off.
Oh, yeah.
Get the wrinkles out and stuff.
Oh my god.
Oh fuck.
Oh god. You guys are great.
I love it.
Well, this is what we sit around and make fun of other bodybuilders. So.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Who else talking about us? So there.
We're just doing it on camera now.
Yeah. That'll get us on another podcast. Me and Wayne.
We'll keep trading enemies. We'll keep making up stories.
Yeah.
We should just start.
It's called clickbait. I heard about it.
Yeah, that's what it is. We'll get.
Oh
man,
my head's aching.
Yeah. This is going downhill right fast, isn't it?
Well,
you're gonna do a lot of editing here, Josh.
I try not to do as little as possible, man. It's very time consuming.
Yeah.
But
she's just a free for all on here.
Oh, that's kind of what this is about. This is it, right? This is fun stuff. What's that?
Fire another good question. There's got to be another good question in there.
Let me take a look. Let me open it up.
Any more questions?
I remember they brought up you and Mike, you and Danny Langtang, that show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that was like the most
Yeah.
exciting bodybuilding show I've been to, and I was actually in that one, but I was watching you from the audience because I didn't make the overall, I don't think. So yeah, I was watching it. I was like
Yeah.
very excited. Like we were all cheering for you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That
You
was
can
an
only see
incredible show.
only
Yeah.
see half your
Danny
face
was
there, Andrew.
What?
Yeah,
Danny
there we
was
go. We
in
can
and
only
out of
see
that
half your
show.
face. There we go.
Yeah,
That's
there we go.
Yeah, Danny was in and out of
There,
that show 3 or 4
yeah.
times. He was in it, and then he was out of it, and then he was in it. And by the last time he said he was back in, I was a little bit more confident. But I'd only seen Danny in moments. I'd never really stood beside him. I knew he was going to be a giant, but I was so confident that this show I was coming back was 4 years off the stage.
yeah,
Finally learned how to eat. I was the biggest I ever got in the off season. I was in wicked shape at 170 pounds, and I still pulled 10 more pounds off. And I was used to weighing 154 on stage, so I knew I was going to
yeah.
be a ton more smaller than him. But I was so detailed in every area that I thought if you are holding in any area, I'm going to make you look soft if you're not as shredded as I am.
Well, that's what happened. You, like in a lot
And
of poses, you look bigger than him because it showed more. Like I remember from the side, you look just as big as him. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that was a good
yeah.
show.
So,
Fuck yeah,
That
he
was
was
a
the
great
downside
show. Yeah.
backstage.
so that's when you take size versus like conditioning and like overall like
Yeah.
body shape and put them two together.
Yeah, I think Mike
So
just looked as big as him, and then
right.
that gave him the advantage because he shouldn't look as big as him, and he did. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
why he got the win.
he was
'Cause-
missing a few body parts.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Plus,
that was a fun show. The 2000 New Brunswick was good too. I was a lightweight, and Bruce won the heavyweight. Who was There was two more guys. Oh, what's his name? He had real good
Kirk's.
abs from Moncton. Burke. Yeah,
Yeah.
Kevin Burke.
Kevin Burke. Yeah.
He was in the overall. I was in the overall. Kevin Burke, and then there was one other guy. Anyways, that was a wicked pose down. I think we started going crazy even before the boys started saying front double bicep. We broke right into a pose down. Everybody started throwing calves and arms and backs and side chests, and he had this
Yeah.
stuff that goes, "This is not like the WWF." He goes, "Boys, stop! The judges are going to judge you." Yeah, it was
I think I
awesome.
missed. Yeah, I might have missed
I
that one.
remember. No, I seen that one too, Mike. I remember when they did that. These guys jumped out ahead of
Yeah,
each other, and they had Duncan had to stop it, or the announcer, whichever one it
yeah,
was. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Fuck, that was awesome. Yeah,
Yeah,
good show.
I remember you came up to my room afterwards, and we were talking a little bit there, and I just looked at you. You showed me your bicep just up close because I hadn't seen you until you got
Yeah,
to the show, and I just couldn't believe it. Like the bractorial and the peak in the bicep and the tricep, it was just unbelievable. Yeah, we couldn't figure
yeah,
out.
that was.
Well, it was Bruce, so we kind of
Yeah.
we knew it was going to be tough anyway, right? So
Well, he's the first guy I ever seen that looked like the magazines that was in real life to me, a pro bodybuilder with the same kind of bubble muscle, 200 and some pounds, shredded and big everywhere, and not just a little big, traps popping out of your shirt, calves that look like something inhuman growing off the back of your leg. Like, it was just ridiculous. So, yeah, to be able to stand beside that guy and even do as good as I did, I was happy with that. The controversy on that show on who should have won what,
hey, Mike,
looking back, I think I was what.
where did Bruce come out and stood when he came out? He was a heavyweight. He was the last one to come out.
Oh,
He was supposed to be on this
yeah,
end, and he walked by everybody and stood beside Mike on right because Mike was a lightweight,
yeah,
right? He stood beside Mike as
yeah.
if he was the bantamweight. That's where he went. That was freaky right there too. That was pretty
Oh
cool.
yeah, because
He knew where to
it's
go.
supposed to go. Yeah, heavyweight, light heavyweight, middleweight, lightweight, and then Bruce walked by everybody, and then stood right beside me, and the judges let it go. They said, "Okay, gentlemen, front double bicep," and they
Yeah,
knew that it was between the two of us because of where Bruce stood. It was pretty awesome.
That's
yeah.
pretty cool.
That was.
That's neat.
I watched
So he,
the big bastard walk behind everybody. I said, "Here we go. This is going to be good."
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like the WWF. Bruce threw that calf down, and that's what started it. He threw his calf down first, and then I threw my calf down, and then I thought, well, fuck, I'll throw an arm up, and then he threw an arm up, and then the two other boys started posing, and then pretty soon we were posing down, and we hadn't even gone through the mandatories yet.
Oh, that's so exciting!
Yeah,
Man, that sounds fun.
That makes something like that makes a show just
right,
just blow the roof off it.
It gets the audience so involved, and like they probably start freaking out.
Fired up.
Yeah. Back in the day too, I think there was no bar, so everybody brought their liquor in.
Oh, so Jesus, yes, people in the audience getting thrown out and everything.
Yeah. The good old days.
Good old days.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. People from St. John causing trouble in the audience, I remember.
Yeah, of course.
I know what you mean.
Clearly.
This isn't a question for any of us, but someone was wondering about your brother, Steve, and what he's up to, and is he competing again? Does he have plans? Haven't seen Big Steve around in a while.
I think Big Steve is probably hung up his trunks, as I can say. He's probably pretty much done. He's still training, works at Good Life, got a great job there. Everybody loves Big Steve.
Oh yeah,
and I think for Steve, he's kind of done the shows that he's wanted to do, and now I think Steve's more focused on the functional training and looking good, feeling good, and living a long time. So, yeah. I think his direction on being great big Steve, he's always going to be big Steve, but he's not going to be great big Steve.
Yeah.
I think that was probably a good choice. Big Steve was one of the first guys that I met when I moved moved to New Brunswick back in the day. Yeah. He kind of took me under his wing when I started working at New Bodies with him. So... yeah, I missed that guy. Yeah. But yeah, someone just was curious about what he's up to.
He's doing good. He's doing good.
I remember Mike after one of the shows, we were out to the bar. I think it was Fredericton, so it must have been the New Brunswicks. And the bar, the two country bars or whatever, they hook together. What is that? What's that place? Country bar. Anyway, the bar closed up. It was like 2 a.m. and I was walking around and I heard Peterson! And I looked across and there was only one head standing above the whole crowd, and it was him. He was the biggest bastard in there. He was roaring clean across the whole place at me. And I said, look at that. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. He's a barrel of fun, Steve is, eh?
Oh, well, big Steve, yeah.
Yeah.
Always know when he's in the room.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. He's a flashlight anyway, so he has a presence.
Yeah.
Get him out on the dance floor. That's a good time too.
Oh my god! Were you guys there during one of his birthday parties where he did some breakdancing and then it pulled his hamstring? Yeah.
Well, that was his Achilles tendon in 2013. Me and Andrew were getting ready for a show that year, and Andy too. Yeah, we were all at that bar underneath. Yeah. They had rented that bar. Remember?
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah.
I barely remember.
Yeah, that was his Achilles tendon.
Achilles, okay. Yeah. I remember him doing some spins or twirls on the floor, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, that's
splits. It." He's doing the
splits.
No, there was no twirls, but there was a lot of splits.
I don't know. I couldn't. Oh man, that was a interesting night for sure. But yeah, Oh. And you guys are all getting ready for the show then too. That's funny.
So.
Yeah. He's like, I don't know. You were always getting ready for some sort of show.
It's all.
That was the last big one. That was the last big one.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, guys, I think we can call it there.
Sounds good.
Yeah, man, that was awesome. Thanks,
it's been a blast.
Coming in, clearing the air. Relieving some of the tension. Everything is okay. Yeah.
We'll never talk about it again. That's it.
That's it. It's done, over with. Move on.
I don't care what tells me. It's over.
That's so good. Awesome, boys. You guys are a ball of fun.
Good seeing you, Kupkee. Mike, good seeing you, boys.
Yeah.
Good seeing you
Take care.
guys. Absolutely. Enjoy your evening, gentlemen. Andy, good to see you. Josh,
Thanks.
have a great
Yep.
night.
You
Andrew,
too,
glad we're
guys.
still friends and everything's cool.